welcome to another episode of Worst Collection Ever, the podcast where we talk about the worst comic book collection, and it just happens to belong to us. I'm Shawn, here with you at the opening real quick, just to kind of give you a heads up about what today's episode, or this week's episode, is about. It is the much promised video episode that we did, although the video itself will probably come at a later date because there's a lot of work that goes into making that proper, and in order to put out a weekly podcast without having any gaps in between, I just wanted to make sure that at least the audio was out there, and we can keep going on with the rest of our schedule that we have planned out. So this week is the audio from that podcast recording we did with my brother Brian, talking about Guy Gardner Zero, the 0 hour tie-in that my brother and I so greatly cherish. If we can get the video together, you'll be able to see some actual images and stuff like that from the comic, and it should be really fun. I underestimated how much work this stuff actually takes, because this is what everybody wants to do now, but I typically am an audio first person when producing these shows, and just didn't get a chance to put together the video stuff just yet. But eventually that will show up on the Worst Collection Ever feed on my YouTube channel, Angry Hero 79. You'll be able to check that out there. In the meantime, too, might as well check out the other episodes on the YouTube channel at Angry Hero 79. Also, just FYI real quick, there's going to be maybe some clicks and some aberrations during the episode that you might hear, because we're still working out this interface for the StreamYard that we use, the StreamYard program. And unfortunately, I didn't really have the best audio of the three of us. Usually I could figure that out best, but unfortunately, I don't know, it's just something didn't go right, and it's fine. Everything's fine. It's just there might be some weird noises, and I'm going to try my best, hopefully, to mitigate that as much as possible so you guys can enjoy it. So there's that, and you can also check us out on our socials everywhere we get them, and all the other stuff. We mentioned at the end of the podcast, as well as Brian's stuff. Check my brother out. He's doing pierogi stuff on his Instagram, and we're really proud of him. My brother's the coolest dude, and I'm glad we got a chance to come in here and talk about this ridiculous comic book with him. So, hope you guys enjoy, and we'll catch you again next week where we start JS April. Very excited for that. Hopefully, maybe people are checking us out via the JS April, where we're going to be talking about JSA comic books next month. And we got some pretty fun stuff. I'm actually excited to talk about the Black Rain storyline. I've already started reading some of that stuff, and it is ridiculous. And we're going to have a good time with it. So thanks for listening, folks, and enjoy the episode. This is a momentous occasion. We are trying to do a video version of this podcast, okay? As you can see.
Yes.
And I'm using this thing called StreamYard that a lot of people use. For whatever reason, it doesn't let you start a song over from the beginning, which is really weird, or at least maybe it does, but I don't know how to do it because I just was like, I could do this. It's just like riding a bike or whatever. No, it's not like riding a bike. It's actually it's much harder. It's much more painful. And then I tried to get the overlay off, and I'm like, I don't know. So whatever. But look, it's fixed now.
We're here, and we have a very special guest.
Yes, it is my brother. Brian Marek, who has been on the show before. Say, Brian, tell people hello, I guess.
Hello, everybody. I guess if we have this video, then you could see me.
You see, here's the thing. Shawn just made a huge liar out of me, because I was always like, oh, don't worry. If you go to the YouTube channel, you don't have to see our faces. But now you have.
I'm actually glad to do this, because this will be interesting to hear how it all turns out. And, at least if anything, the audio of this show will be preserved. And then we could just use this if the video part's just an abject failure, me try to actually put this out. But we'll see. I mean, maybe we'll have to do another one of these and try to figure it out till we get it right. Maybe just Jen and I will have to wrestle with the mighty StreamYard, I guess. I don't know. Well, maybe I guess since we're having a guest, because this is weird because we don't normally have guests, I should ask you, Brian, about of course, you're my brother. That's been established.
Yes.
And you're also a comic book guy. You're the one that suggested the book that we're going to read. And you're also a culinary expert. So maybe you could share more about that. So we could just, I want the guests to shine. It's weird because you're my brother, so I already know all this stuff about you.
Yeah, and obviously, like I've been on the show before, and you guys have talked a bunch about of like what has happened in our lives and everything else. But I'm still out here in Buffalo. Me and our sister Carrie are the two that stayed local and still live here in the area. I'm out here just kind of doing my thing and enjoying the craft beer scene. Used to have a craft beer podcast a little bit called What the Hops. Haven't really done it in a couple of years.
Well, you kayfabe that was going to come back, and then it was back, and then it wasn't.
The problem is the craft beer in general is like kind of like a slowly dying scene, and it just became oversaturated with a lot of things. So it's just kind of like I still enjoy it, but like I also don't drink nearly as much as I used to when I was doing it. So it's like when you're doing a craft beer podcast, you're trying to be like, okay, I got to try every single thing, and like, man, I'm old now. I can't do that.
Yeah.
Like.
That's what sucks.
You wake up in the morning after those days and it's like, oh, it's a Wednesday. I got to go to this release and I go to that release. And then you have to go to work the next day. And you're like, man, why did I do that? So it kind of just slowed down a little bit. But yeah, like Shawn said too, I kind of like at some point it's probably been close to 20 years now. I've been making pierogi with the family. We took our family recipe and me and our father used to make them around Christmas time. And I kind of started doing some weird things with it and continue to do weird things. And I've been trying to get more of a following on that. And it's been fun.
Yeah, you were doing some football team themed pierogi, like whoever was playing the Bills.
Yeah, so last year I tried to make it a goal of trying to make a new flavor every week because I was like, I could probably try to get 50 different varieties out. Ended up getting to 38 just because, when it gets hot in the summer in Buffalo, just kitchens in general and working with dough isn't exactly the funnest thing in the world. And like things just don't really work out as well. So I kind of took like a month or so off in the summer, like just not really making them. But ended up getting into 38 different kinds. And I used the football schedule for like the Bills. And since I'm a Chiefs fan as well, I went through their schedules and kind of went with their opponents and kind of tried to use like this is what, people are known for eating in Houston and people are known for eating in this area and stuff. So it gave me an idea to like really run with, and it was pretty fun.
Some of those looked really good. I think, didn't you do like a green chili one when they play the Broncos?
Yeah, so I did I did a green chili with a roasted pork filling.
That looks really good.
It came out okay.
There were many that I was like, I want to eat that.
I suggested Brian do Rocky Mountain oysters in those.
I thought about doing that, and then I'm like, well, I got to find them. I'm going to end up getting them frozen. Like, it's just like, I can just do this real quick. It's easier. Plus, like, it happened to be around Christmas time, and I was just like, all right, like, I got to get something that's easy and quick and easy to do. So I just did that. The thing is, with like Denver green chili, though, you guys, it's like a gravy.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
So like I went that route and like it was fine. It's funny because I actually have like a ton of it frozen, like the actual green chili. I got a ton of it frozen in my freezer now. So I'm going to be like eating that for the next like year just because like, I made like this giant batch and then realized I probably shouldn't have done that because it's not like actual chili. It's just more of that sauce. So
it's just like a sauce you can put on shit.
Yeah, it's not, I mean, you can eat a bowl of it. Like you go places and get a bowl of it, but it's not really like a chili.
Yeah, you gotta put it on like a burrito or something. That's the idea.
I figure I'm like, you know what? I'll take it like camping, or like I'll take it to parties. Be like, here, eat this chili.
Hey, it's a chili guy. He goes out.
Everyone's like, no, run, no more green chili.
I got a big pot of this Day-Glo green chili. It's ready to go.
Hey, have you ever been to Denver? Try this.
Fuck Denver and their weird ass chili.
I remember this in California, and at some of the Mexican places where they would have burritos, and they would call it the Coloradan sauce, and it was like a red sauce.
Yeah, and I'm like, why is it red?
But nobody out here knows what the hell that is.
Yeah, that's why I always thought it was supposed to be the green stuff, because that's
you would think
the green chili.
Doing the research, like, it's funny because, like, it looks like there's like 3 or 4 different kinds, just depending on what area of Colorado that you're in, and like if you're in southern Colorado, like it was really weird. So I tried to figure out like the best one to like do for Denver, and I tried to go as like close as possible to what the Denver region was with that. So, like I said, came out pretty good. I don't know if I would do that one again, but you know, it was fun to make.
Yeah. Also, you made the news.
Oh yeah,
you're hanging out with was it Keith Radford and shit on Channel 7 or whatever.
Yeah, the new Keith, Jeff Russo. He was the sports guy here for a minute, and then like became the anchor like 10 years ago.
Oh yeah, all the news people I used to watch are probably dead or retired.
I think Mike Randall's still around,
Maybe
like
not.
trying to like hug random old women.
Mike Randall, I
was his thing, just like randomly hugging old women.
Yeah, he was, and so in Bruce Almighty, basically Jim Carrey's character is Mike Randall. Is kind of like that's his thing. Like he would just go around and does all like the one tank getaways, and he would also be like Hal Linden and or Hal Holbrook and dress up like Mark Twain and do performances and shit. And when we lived in Boston, I worked at FYE with his son who was going to Berkeley.
Oh,
yeah.
Did he dress up like Mark Twain?
Yeah, he came on every day, just dressed up like Mark Twain.
Just like dressed as a different character. He's like, today it's Edgar Allan Poe. I'm going to sell these records to fucking, what's his face who came in to bother you.
Oh, who? What, Dice?
Yes, Dice Man.
Dice.
Could you imagine being dressed as Edgar Allan Poe and trying to deal with Andrew Dice Clay?
Could you imagine Andrew Dice Clay dressed as Mark Twain?
No, actually I can't. Smoking all the cigarettes this way.
Hickory Dickory Twain or whatever. I don't know. Hickory Dickory Huck. Whatever. I don't know. I couldn't even think of a Mark Twain thing.
Huckleberry Finn, right?
Yeah.
Tom Sawyer. Hey, where's the rush?
Hey, I was at my own funeral the other day. Oh, but yeah, that's lovely to hear. I don't have a good transition for this.
There's no transition.
I just wanted to point out too, with like the one brewery that I go to a lot over here, Mortalis Brewing, released this beer called Eleanor.
Oh, that's cool.
So
that's our
every
grandma's
time I
name.
see it, I'm like, it always reminds me of just the Batman versus Superman. It's like, Eleanor, why did you name it this? You know, just like,
That's his grandmother's name.
That's his mother's name.
It's his mother's name.
Oh, anybody with the grandmother named Eleanor is a good guy.
Back in 1940, 8 sensational heroes united to create the world's very first superhero team, the Justice Society of America. Now, 85 years later, we're gathering podcasters and bloggers from around the globe for a month-long celebration in an event we're calling JS April. Throughout April 2025, join dozens of all-star podcasters and bloggers as they each share their own unique tributes to the original and greatest superhero team, covering exciting topics like
Superman Family number 211, October 1981.
Mr. and Mrs. Superman attend the wedding of Batman and Catwoman.
JSA number 1 from 2024.
JSA 68 through 72.
All-Star Comics number 58.
JSA number 59 from 2004.
Justice League of America 171.
And Justice League of America 172.
The Legacy of the JSA character names.
The Brave and the Bold number 61.
The Golden Age Wonder Woman JSA Adventures.
JLA, JSA, Virtue and Vice, 2002.
DC Special number 29 featuring the untold origin of the Justice Society.
Infinity Inc. Annual number 1, JSA number 38, and the Stargirl TV series.
Justice Society of America number 6 from 1993.
Justice Society of America number 20.
Justice Society of America Annual number 1, 2008.
Justice Society of America number 10 from 2007.
All-Star Comics number 4 from 1941.
The Wonder Woman Spectacular from 1978.
Celebrate with JSA 85th birthday cookies.
The 1987 Infinity Inc. and Outsiders specials.
Wanted, the world's
World's Most Dangerous Villains number 6 from 1973.
The recent Alan Scott Green Lantern miniseries.
Examining the role of the Justice Society in the Crisis.
And the effect the Crisis had on the team.
More Fun Comics 55 from 1940.
Contrasting the Justice Society of America versus Marvel's Invaders.
In Post-Crisis, how the JSA inspired the JLA.
Justice League of America number 29 through 30, plus The Flash number 123.
Golden Age Origins number 1.
Showcase number 97 to 99 from 1978.
The Justice Society versus Extant.
All-Star Squadron, issues 19 and 20 from 1983.
All-Star Comics, issues 60 to 63.
JSA number 56 through number 58 from 2004.
JSA, The Liberty File.
Justice Society of America, Thy Kingdom Come.
And that's just some of the topics that will be covered during the celebration. Get ready for a thrilling month of beloved characters, fascinating insights, and incredible stories. Follow the action on social media with the hashtag JSApril, and visit our website for a complete list of participating podcasters, bloggers, and what they're each covering at fireandwaterpodcast.com/JSApril.
Now, Brian, you picked this book, and I'm glad you did, because it's something that I have been kind of wanting to do for a while. It is Guy Gardner Warrior, number 0 from October 1994. Brian, why did you pick this book? I guess we should ask that.
Growing up, I became like a Green Lantern fan, especially like the Kyle Rayner run, really. Like I just started collecting it every month. And
you're a regular pull this guy.
I still have, I think probably like 50 issues in a row of just like that run, whatever it was with him, from when he became Green Lantern till like, I think maybe when he became the White Lantern, like that time. So however many issues that was, maybe not 50, but it was a decent amount. But this was kind of like, obviously Guy Gardner was Green Lantern, and it was just one of those things too. Like 0 Hour was, for us as like comic book collectors, it was like a fun thing. Like we tried to collect every 0 issue.
Most of them, yeah. There was a bunch. I think it was more for, at least definitely for me, and probably for you too, where it was just like you had certain guys that you wanted to, have a part of. And I don't know where I saw this version of Guy Gardner. Maybe it was in the actual 0 Hour comic. I can't remember if he actually shows up like that or not. Maybe he's in it, but I don't know if he looks like this. But I remember seeing, maybe it was because we were like reading Wizard. Actually, it had been like a Wizard or something.
Yeah.
And this showed up, and I was like, dude, what is this? This is crazy. Like, what, Guy Gardner, but he's got like spiky hands and stuff. It was really fucking cool. And we would go to Flight into Fantasy. That was our comic book store back in the day. If you can't really tell via this cover, but this is like a silver ink. Silver, all the 0 and the titles and all that. This was silver ink, premium item. I think we had the Green Arrow or Green Lantern, Etrigan, the Demon, Primal Force, I think.
Spectre. I still have, when I was going through to see if I still had this issue, I don't have this, but I still got like the Justice League America 0.
Yeah, just like Task Force.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Lobo he had too.
Yeah, there were a couple that like, it was like, okay, you got to make sure you grab that. And no, like it was like, it didn't even dawn on me too that it's been 30 years.
Yeah.
Or, right? No. Yeah. 30 years since this. Like, which is like, I'm like, thinking, I'm like, God damn.
No, it's 30 years because last year was 30 years because I got the 30-year anniversary special that they put out.
That's right.
And it's something where something Kyle Rayner and Mary Marvel and Supergirl fucking around. It's not great, but it exists. So yeah, I was pretty jazzed for this. But I remember buying the actual 0 Hour, like the physical, like the pack. It came in a pack, like all 4 issues of the actual miniseries. And I bought it at like Toys R Us, I think.
5 issues.
5 issues, yeah, 5. I remember getting that, and that might be something to talk about actually one day. I don't know. I have to go back and read it and see if it's actually worth spending time on the show because I just know there's like random shit in there. Like that was like the time when like Power Girl had a baby. Do you remember this?
Why?
She had a baby because she got I forgot who impregnated her, some weirdo, and then she had a baby. And she had a baby that turned out to be like this. No, it was Arion. Arion somehow like impregnated her, and I think it was like by choice, like some sort of like I don't know. Actually, I don't know. I think it was just some sort of thing. But she was and she's in 0 Hour, and she's just wearing like mom clothes there, and they're just like just a scene where like
mom jeans, like
she's wearing like a frumpy sweater, and she's just watching like you know all this action go down, and like Wonder Woman's like watch out for your baby or something, you know. But
gotta remember it was the early 90s too, so she was dressed like early 90s mom.
Yeah. So what happened to the baby?
The baby. The funny thing about the baby is that the baby became, I forgot what his name was, Equinox or something. It was something stupid. And it's funny because according to I read this in the DC Wiki where it's like he showed up, he appeared in a few issues, he did some things, it was never mentioned again. He was only around for like 4 issues, and now everybody just forgot that she had a baby.
That's probably for the best.
That'd be a thing where like it had that DC trivia at the Comic-Con. I could win a fluffy toy or something from Dan Didio, like I did that one time.
What did she? Was it this? What did you win from? Was it this thing?
Yes.
Oh, see, I still have it.
Yeah. So I answered a question about Earth 2, and I was like, yay!
That's right. Now I have it sitting on my desk forever.
Yeah. See, everybody wins at Comic-Con. So, anyways, but Guy Gardner, number 0. Now, this, of course, is in the middle of his ongoing series. That's how a lot of these books were. They would just be in the middle of the ongoing series, and they would kind of be like these reboot issues of some sort.
I think I have Catwoman 0.
You probably do. Maybe you do.
I'm almost positive I have it.
I feel like if we don't, I wonder if we have it physically. I kind of want to actually get all.
No, I think we have it. I'm almost positive we have it physically.
Yeah, I think we had one. I think we had that too. So
yeah. So the deal is that. So we're in the middle of Guy's story, you know, and and actually the couple issues before this is another issue we've covered on the show, which also was one of our few guest episodes when we had Jensen Karp on.
Oh shit, that was forever ago.
I remember Jensen Karp saying that was the worst comic he ever read. Was the one that the Guy Gardner that we had him read.
We are committed to theme. We are the
You should have known. I think he was excited.
It's called Worst Collection Ever.
I think he was because he was actually promoting his book that he put out, and he was like, "I'll do whatever podcasts and stuff." And actually, I always like this stuff. I like this show, or whatever. I was a big fan of his, and I had a connection with him through podcast stuff. And I was like, "Yeah, come on the show." And he's like, "I'll do whatever show. It doesn't matter, man. It's all cool, you know." And he came on, and we did Ecstatic or X-Force from like the alternate era because he was a fan of that. But then also we did 2 books, which was like a lot.
Yeah.
You know, now I think back at it, and I was like, "Well, you got to read this Guy Gardner book." And then he was just, I don't think he liked it. I think he was upset that he had to do it because afterward I was like, "Could you promote this?" And he just like never acted like he was on it. I always felt bad because I'm like, man, I could have did better with that. But nonetheless, that's just how it is.
A lot of these DC series weren't really great. And Guy Gardner definitely was one of them that like it existed, and that was just really about it.
Yeah. No, Guy Gardner, I don't know, Jen, what's your thoughts on Guy Gardner?
Guy Gardner Warrior or Guy Gardner in general?
Well, the Guy Gardner in general, because I feel like me and Brian have been geeking out over Guy here for a second, so.
I don't really know a ton about Guy Gardner, except he's a humongous asshole and Batman punched him in the face.
Sure he did.
Once and knocked him out completely unconscious. And he has really bad hair that Nathan Fillion has now, which that's kind of exciting. So I'm excited to see him actually in the new Superman movie because I don't know what to expect. And as far as Warrior, I think he has nipple tattoos, but we're going to talk about that.
Okay, no, fair enough. You brought those up to me earlier today, and I was like, okay, well, this will have to be a thing we have to discuss. But so just to kind of give some context about what's happening in this book is that at this time, so Guy had a power ring. He had I don't think he had a Green Lantern ring because Hal took over as the Green Lantern of Earth. And that was like an ongoing thing because Guy was like the backup to the backup, or he was like Hal's backup. But then like Guy went into a coma. So John Stewart became his backup. became Hal's backup, but then Guy came out of a coma and he was like, I want to be a Green Lantern too. So he was like a backup for Earth. But Guy, he ended up getting a Sinestro ring, like a yellow ring. So he was using that as his weapon. And Emerald Twilight happened where Hal, Green Lantern, Hal Jordan, went crazy, basically decimated the corpse, the Green Lantern corpse, and it kind of caused his ring to crap out. So he was like, I need to actually have like a suit. I need to have something. So what he did initially was have Blue Beetle build him a suit that was like an old Booster Gold exoskeleton of some sort. And then, we do see that a little bit later. And then that didn't work out. So he went to Africa. He went to Africa. I know it's not South America, but he went to Africa to drink some water, the water of the warriors. Because at this time he was Guy Gardner warrior. Like to get his juice on, he ended up blacking out. And this is kind of where we come into it now after 0 Hour has happened, and now we're continuing on because what happens is he finds out he is he's an alien. That is a thing. I knew.
Kind of an alien.
Yeah.
Is Guy Gardner's story the story of a man who just did too much juice? Is that the idea?
He was like a football player, and then he's I think what? He's from Baltimore technically or something too. Yeah, so it's Baltimore exists in DC universe, and he was just I'm hanging out in Baltimore. I'm a football player, and then or he was a cop or something, or he was cop's son.
Yeah, his father was a cop. His brother was a cop. His brother ended up being a crooked cop that got paralyzed, but eventually also came back as one of his foes. But then Guy, he got his act together and ended up actually playing football for University of Michigan.
It's funny. He has this very it's this very typical because he was created in the 60s, late 60s, early 70s, and it's this very typical Irish American background where it's my family's a bunch of cops, and they might not exactly be this, and it easily could be some kind of TV drama where you could just follow his family and be oh yeah, I'm the son that went to college and played football, but now I got to avenge my brother's being paralyzed or whatever.
That's awesome. I would watch that.
He's just a big I don't know. He's just a big asshole though too, which kind of fits with the Irish American thing a little bit.
Watch out, Hal, he's Irish.
How many of these issues occur in a Catholic church?
I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe there might be one where he goes in there and tries to fight God or something. He's like, God,
that'd be sweet.
It was the 70s. DC was probably trying everything,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think enough superheroes fight God, so I'm on board.
Just Shawn Michaels.
He teamed with God.
He's best friends.
So moving on here, I'm trying to kind of go deal by deal here.
So this is we start with Guy basically watching a diamond television.
Yeah. So there's some hologram thing that he's watching, and he gets it, and this is when we get his buddy Matt Cardona right here.
Mm-hmm.
Is he shows up in this image, and he's like, hey man, I'm here to tell you that you're part alien, but we also might be Italian because Cardone meets a Balza. Also kind of too that Cardone has these sweet Giorgio Moroder shades, these big, it's this, you can see this, he looks like Serpentor, but with a helmet that covers his eyes. And there's really no way for him to see, but it is quite weird.
Yeah, because basically Guy is standing in his apartment being like, I don't remember any of the stuff that's happening on my diamond TV, because it's literally shaped like a diamond. And then he's like, oh, wait, I do remember drinking the water. And then so this guy comes, Cardone is like, all right, we're going to talk about you becoming warrior. And so then we go to, I don't know, him in an arena fighting a giant crocodile lizard man.
Yeah, so the deal is with these aliens is that Matt Cardona is like, hey, since you have this alien blood in you that we haven't really told you about yet, we want you to go ahead and test yourself out and see how you fare against who I described as Jim Neidhart alien, because he's got that weird. He's like a reptile. He's like a Gila monster with arms and legs, like a humanoid Gila monster, but he also has like a sweet hanging beard, like Jim Neidhart.
Is it a beard as well as like a top knot?
Yeah, it is a top knot. Yeah,
he's got like a top knot going. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it kind of looks like a toad.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird thing.
It's very Frogger.
Guy, his whole face is in the hand of this alien. We don't even find out his name. I don't think we say his name.
I don't think so.
He's one of the ancestors or something.
Yeah. He's like the gateway fighter. He's like kind of like when the wrestlers would bring up. Speaking of Matt Cardona, when NXT guys would come up to the main roster, they'd be like, "Hey, we'll put you on a house show loop with Zack Ryder and see if you're any good." And then Zack Ryder would be like, "Yeah, they're good, or they need this or need that." And so this is what this bearded alien is trying to do. But I did have to point out, I really enjoyed seeing these aliens in the background.
There's some fun ones.
There's some fun ones here.
When we first see him fighting the toad alien dude, and we see Once Upon a Time, which is the title of the story, there's also like a giant Yeti guy, because it's like a 2-page spread. There's like a Yeti guy on the right.
Yeah. So here we got like a xenomorph kind of motherfucker. We got what would you call this guy?
All these guys like feel like it's like I'm watching like the Herculoids or something like that.
Yeah. 100%.
We got to talk about these other guys that I labeled Gleep 2.
The black little like puds in front of the Yeti guy.
Those like inky blob dudes.
next to mustache dude and like General Patton.
That mustache dude, honest to God, makes me think Jim Gordon, like in the Wild West. Like that's the only thing I can think of.
You got all these weird aliens and you got these two guys. It's like, what are these guys doing here?
One dude's like literally dressed like a general.
Yeah, he looks like it's General Patton, and then I think the mustache guy.
He's got a twirl. Yeah, there he is.
Yeah.
He even has a badge.
I said this was Doc Holliday. So you got Doc Holliday, you got the Black Herculoids, you got the General Patton, and who's this guy? I was trying to figure out who this guy is.
Which one? The big Yeti guy?
Yeah, I'm running a pointer over it, like you could see it.
It's kind of like a large fizz gig.
Ooh, Fizzgig.
Yeah, Fizzgig from Dark Crystal.
Yeah, if Fizzgig took like a body serum, and he grew a whole body in between his feet.
Yeah.
I don't know if this ever gets explained why these guys are here. Like, I understand the aliens like being here because it's an alien race.
Sure.
This is just like probably some high-ranking general from World War II that was like, you know what? I'm going to take a vacation. I'm going to go hang out on wherever this Voldarian battle pit is, and we're going to see what's going on, and I'll bring Doc Holliday with me.
That guy works for Space Force. That's why he's there.
He sure does.
So Guy gets his ass handed to him, and then like the toad, because apparently they can make their hands and bodies do things. So the toad guy makes it into like a big, basically a garbage disposal. And he looks like he punches Guy square in the stomach with it.
Well, before that happens, the toad guy turns to the audience, turns to Matt Cardona and was like, "Hey, this guy kind of sucks." But then Guy comes behind him and sinks his entire fist into his head.
Nice.
Which is quite interesting. I guess that's the pliability of reptiles or something. Like, this guy should be dead.
Should be. So should Guy.
He does this because, like, on the page before and a couple panels before, the guy calls out as human inadequacies. So Guy's probably like, yo, he just said I got a small dick, so I got to punch him in the face now.
That is exactly something Guy Gardner would do. He'd be like, how dare you?
Given what happens later, he kind of turns into like a human dick later, or an alien dick monster.
He definitely gets veiny.
He gets veiny.
He gets real veiny.
Jim the Anvil Lizard unleashes his propeller body, his propeller hand. And this is around the time when Guy gets massive stomach cramps.
Well, I think that's because he took that garbage disposal to the gut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, it doesn't hit him. I don't think he gets quite there.
I think it does. I honestly think it does. Because I think that's why he falls over. I mean, it's not drawn, so it's like got the guy, and then it's going towards him, like in the panel, and then the next panel we see is just him like doing this, and then he's on the ground. So I'm assuming he did take a garbage disposal to the gut, and somehow does not die, but he does get veiny.
He gets real veiny. So, and we're talking like real, like this is so aggressively veiny. This. So it's not just veiny, but he's also bursting from here, which. Dude, it's just like some Akira shit going on here.
Yeah, this is body horror.
Real quick here, too. I also want to ask, why is Guy wearing an eye patch?
Oh, because I think in 0 Hour or like something before it, he got blinded during the 0 Hour thing, he got blinded in one eye. So like this is like right before, or maybe like it was before 0 Hour. Something happened where he was blinded in one eye, and like that's part of the reason too why he was looking for this warrior juice.
He was tired of getting eye jammies.
He's like, Jim Hellwig told me that if I join his one warrior nation, I can see again.
Yes, he found the power of destrucity. That's are you aware of this, babe?
No.
So
it sounds hilarious.
Ultimate Warrior, when he came back in 1996 at WWF, part of his deal was that WWF had to like sign on to like promote his comic book that he was putting out.
Oh, didn't we find an issue of this somewhere?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe we did. And he had this thing where he was talking about creating something called Warrior University, which is kind of like Trump University. I don't know if there's an actual physical thing you could go to.
Probably a correspondence course.
Yeah.
96. It's not going to be on the internet yet.
He talked about having to learn something called destrucity.
What does that mean?
But it was just something that he created, and WWE had to like buy all these.
But what does it mean?
I don't know.
Oh, okay, cool.
It means Guy Gardner gets a veiny arm. That's what it is. I don't know.
Sweet.
Ultimate Warrior at that time, like legitimately started going insane.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just started like going off the rails, like whether it was like just in wrestling or just politically too, like around that time, I think, right? Mm-hmm. And he was just like calling everybody out.
I'm surprised that they could have tied this in. They could have had a tie-in with DC and Guy Gardner. Maybe a wrestler could have came out as Guy Gardner.
Mm-hmm.
I'm honestly surprised that Warrior didn't sue DC. Maybe he did, and we just don't even realize it.
Oh, that could be.
His legal name is Warrior.
But I don't know if it was at this point. In 94, I don't think it was.
Oh, okay.
Like, I feel like he still probably would have, like, tried to fight DC at that point.
Want to physically fight DC.
I do, too. I want to see him. I want to see him press slam Dan Didio. Not that Dan Didio was working for DC at the time, but I think that would have been funny.
That would have been funny.
If Warrior was risen from the grave, and he press slammed Dan Didio. That would be a great way.
Dan Didio's like, I don't think he even works there anymore. He's like, I don't even work for this company anymore.
He's like, I wasn't there when you were going to sue us, and I wasn't there. I'm not there now. So why
am I getting press slammed?
He's like, you want Jim Lee, and it's like Jim Lee's like, I wasn't there yet either. Calm down, man.
He's like, I just draw stuff, man.
Oh no, Zombie Ultimate Warriors going through the DC offices in Burbank, press slamming people.
Oh, that'd be amazing, actually.
I kind of dig that.
James Gunn's like, don't worry, I'll put you in a movie.
It's like, oh, okay, yeah.
That's Ultimate Warrior's corpse.
So he takes on the form of warrior.
Yeah, he takes on the form of warrior because this is when, as he's changing, as he's juicing out, Toad Guy is like, he's like, hey, get up, you failure. And then he turns around and he's got full on like Sting face paint on. He's actually got Sting hair.
He does.
His hair's pretty Sting. I was trying to figure what the face paint is like.
So is this actual face paint or is this like tattoos?
I don't know.
If you look at his nipples,
okay,
does that not look like two posts on a wrestling ring and the turnbuckles, and it just needs a rope connect? Do you see what I'm saying here?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. The gesturing isn't working, but you know what I'm saying? It just looks like he should have a rope connecting his two nipples, ring post turnbuckle things.
Yeah, but this panel here, I gotta say,
this is insane.
It's insane. It's also one of my favorite panels of any comic book.
Do they make a guy like this?
I was going to say, this is something that's frustrated me on it. So I've got a lot of Guy Gardner figures. I've got these new DC McFarlane figures. I got the whatevers. See that? He's got
yep.
He's got these.
Yeah.
You got interchangeable hair. Like I'm wearing his weird hair.
Nice. You can give him a little bowl cut. That's cool.
Yeah,
like he's a 5th grader. His mom cutting his hair before school.
Yeah, and then I even got these little ones. You know, I got these. I got the McFarlane Superpowers ones. I got these DC Infinite Heroes ones. Never have they put out this version of Guy Gardner, and that is, I think, a tragedy.
You would think when the Injustice?
No, Total Justice.
Total Justice ones, yeah.
Yeah.
Like you would figure like this character would have been perfect for that toy line with all like the random like things that they added to the guys and everything else. Like you could have easily made this.
This is literally a Total Justice figure. It's like, because all you would do with those figures is just snap on things. Like Batman would have like fractal armor or some shit. It'd be just really dumb stuff. But this is exactly it. And the fact that they've never actually gone through with this is really frustrating. And I feel like it's I just love this look. I don't know. I know a lot of us me and you are in the minority here, but I love it.
I don't hate it.
I mean, you generally.
I don't hate it. He's got red eyebrows.
Although that's the paint.
No, I know, but it makes it look like he kind of has divine eyebrows. You know, like
nice.
Like they're and his arm is literally like his bicep is the size of his head. He's doing a Scott Steiner at this point.
This is total Scott Steiner. Scott Steiner is furious that he doesn't look like this.
That's kind of why I think like this version of Guy Gardner like resonates with us, is because he is a wrestler. Like this is like, okay, it's so 90s and it's so wrestling that it's just like, you're like, okay, just like this dude's just going to go around just like press slamming everything and just like talking some smack to every single person. And that's honestly what the character was too. Like Guy Gardner was just always talking smack to everyone. So
talk so much shit.
It made sense, but like people just didn't buy into it.
Dude, if Guy Gardner was a wrestler, he would totally be a graduate of the power plant, WCW power plant, and he would have a brief push on Saturday night.
Oh yeah, he would have been teaming with High Voltage.
Yes,
he could have been one of the American males.
Oh shit!
Oh,
him and Buff Bagwell would have just destroyed people. Scotty Riggs would have never even existed.
Dude, these straps here, he could have produced his own painted on suspenders, and he could be doing a little move. Actually, fucking sweet, man. See, I'm gonna make this, babe. When 2K25 comes out, I'm gonna do this. I did this one year and it turned out pretty well, but now things are better, and I'm gonna make this in the game.
How long is this gonna take you to make?
Actually, it probably won't take me that long because really, a lot of these shapes here are like just normal ass shapes. If you kind of look at it,
that's true.
So it's not really like that hard, and you could probably kind of get. I think the hardest thing would probably get like the right kind of like pants and.
Do they make chaps?
Oh, they got chaps. Yeah, maybe you could have Shawn Michaels chaps. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you could do some chaps, like make them a certain color.
No, maybe. So he comes out. He looks badass.
He's like, it is me. I look sweet.
Yes.
Time to fight. Oh, by the way, my hand becomes a gun.
It sure does. And what I just noticed this, and what I don't like is it's kind of moist.
It is. It's drippy.
It's dripping. Like
it's disgusting.
Why does it have to drip? Like, what is coming out? Like, is this the fuel?
Like slimy, like.
I mean, the sound is slip, slurp, splack. Like
swack. Swack. Swack sounds like a reserve member of the Green Lantern Corps. That could have been a guy.
He's constantly moist. It's like he has a slime running across his body, which is very upsetting, actually.
It is quite weird. And first thing happens is that he blows away this monster.
Mm-hmm.
This monster, and he says something about with great power, because he said in that panel, he says like, I feel kind of powerful. With great power comes great responsibility. Scratch that last part, and it said that comes great fun.
And insert fun, yeah.
Insert fun.
It's like, I love killing people. Somebody shoots an arrow at him, and then he's just fighting dudes. He's just fighting some of these, I'm assuming the aliens from the crowd.
Yeah, some of those guys jump in. I do want to point, I did actually want to bring up here, and Brian, I don't know if you're familiar with the movie Society.
Oh, it's 100% Society.
Jen, do you think that Guy would be a good time at the shunting? Do you think he'd
No, he'd be horrible at the shunting. However, he does have the capability to become extremely disturbing and meld with others. But he would be a horrible... You don't want Guy at an orgy. That's like the worst thing you could ever do. Like, he would be the least fun guy.
Especially a sloppy orgy like the shunting.
A sloppy orgy. Because you know what? He wouldn't be like, hey, everybody's here to like chill and have a good time. Yay. He'd be like the dude in the corner, like aggressively like shoving other dudes to like... He would not be a good
just
time.
grab people as they walk by and be like, get in here.
Yeah, and it would just be bad. And then he'd be mad because that guy over there had a bigger dick. And then it would just like be a fight. Like, no Guy Gardner at the orgy.
He'd be making his like arms into too many weird things and like trying to shove them in people. And you're like, dude, I don't want that right now. And he's like, no, man, it's going to be all right.
Yeah, you're like, no, dude, we're just here to have a good time. Whatever this is not on my bucket list. Thanks, though, Guy.
I'm going to go upstairs where the guy's face is coming out of his ass. The guy would be stuck with that one girl's mother. Remember that girl's like mother that looks like Divine?
Yeah.
And she doesn't say anything? That would be, Guy would be like, well, I guess I'm going to go over here with this chick.
So he fights these guys, and then we get kind of basically the backstory of this race of warriors.
Yeah.
And they're called the Voldarians.
Voldarians.
So they were apparently advanced society. You know, everybody could make penis guns or whatever out of their bodies. And then they got destroyed.
Yeah. So basically... there was another race of aliens called the Tormoks, who love to give claw holds. Like there's this guy Bronk who was a leader of the Tormoks, and he was especially vicious. And he would go around and like he would just kill his own warriors and do all sorts of crazy shit. But we're gonna actually get a little bit ahead here because basically. What needs to be pointed out is that before the Green Lanterns existed...
Oh, that's right.
Before the Manhunters, before the Thanagarians, whatever, the Voldarians were the policemen of the universe. They were basically the Green Lanterns, the Dark Stars of that era. They're patrolling some place where there's like a bunch of dead lizards, but there's this one lizard that's just kind of like, it's a living.
Oh, yeah.
He
has a hole in him, yeah.
He's like, well, I guess I tried. So the Tormoks came to town.
Stole all the women.
We're going to blow up the women.
They stole all the women and then put them in some sort of chamber. And I'm assuming killed them in a horrible way. And then now it was like, oh no, we don't have enough women. We have to somehow continue our species. So it's time to go hang out and like go to all these other alien planets.
Yes.
They were trying to find a planet where they would be compatible to be able to like breed in a sense.
Yeah. So apparently they also went down to like every planet. They're like, can we have some blood? Like they took everybody's blood and like put it in some sort of database just to make sure that they knew who was more compatible than the other one.
What's really kind of messed up.
Oh, glands and blood. Ooh.
Yeah, but I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to do this stuff in real time. So, well, first thing I want to show is these Voldarian women. I wanted to point this out. They kind of look like Peg Bundy.
Yeah.
And then they went around trying to find these genetic traits to make their alien race better, so they could go ahead and fight these Tormoks. In return, they would give them technology.
Yeah.
Because it just all looks like that they're giving them is like a pyramid for some reason.
I like how on the one, as they're doing that, it's like, oh yeah, here, dolphins. You guys are...
Dolphin people?
One of the places they go is the space dolphins.
Yeah. Space dolphins.
Find this. I just love this photo of the space dolphins here. I got to find this.
The space dolphins, the like weird, tall alien with the big head. They go everywhere. They're really hanging out with around. People. They do get around.
So is there just a planet of space dolphins that like they're just like, hey, how's it going, dolphins? Like you guys are the best. You guys are the best species on this planet.
Well, they're just standing. So I feel like they show up in this pyramid. I feel like this is like their gift, and they're like, hey, dolphins, do you want this pyramid? And they're
they give everybody a pyramid.
They give everybody a pyramid. Like, why not an air fryer? You know.
I mean, maybe it is an air fryer. We just don't know.
Oh man, you could cook all your food in this giant pyramid.
We haven't figured. I mean, we don't know. The pyramid at Giza actually could be a giant air fryer. We just don't know.
So wait, are the Voldarians the reason why Logan Paul can't go to Egypt?
Yes.
They're like, yeah, no, he's not allowed.
Actually, it'd be great if Logan Paul went to Egypt and a bunch of dolphins came up the Suez Canal and just fucking beat him up.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I'd love to see some dolphins fight him.
Dolphins are smart.
Yeah, and dolphins are also extreme assholes.
Yeah. So actually, they might be friends with him. We got to think about it.
Yeah, you got to watch out.
Well, they're trying to find somebody to breed with, basically, and like add the traits of the best warriors on each planet to their bloodline, because they're looking for somebody who's compatible. So then they eventually go to a very primitive planet called Earth.
I do want to point out real quick, I have to show this here. The Tormach show up in what I think is a space wrench.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's 100% a wrench.
This
Yeah.
looks like a ship I would fight in R-Type, but yeah, clearly you can also fix your toilet with it.
Mm-hmm, you absolutely can.
But yes, they go to Earth.
They go to Earth, and there's I don't know if you took a picture of this panel, but it's a very upsetting panel.
Oh, I took a picture of it.
Oh, good. Because, they could make their hands into everything. And he's like, I got to test your blood. And his middle finger becomes a literal hypodermic needle, and he's taking blood from this man's shoulder or arm. And then there's actually a close-up of him taking blood. It's gross.
It is gross.
Like, where does it... Okay, so, but, like, where does it go?
I mean, it can go anywhere, I guess.
But that's why, like, he's trying to collect a sample. Does it just, like, sit in his finger until he can, like, I don't know, put it in a test tube or... Oh, no.
Yeah, there's a little ball here. There's a little ball full of enzymes are pumping. Because they're giving... No, this is actually... They have all the enzymes. So this is now they go to Earth. And they're like, Earth is kind of apparently close enough to Voldar.
Yeah, because they're like, humans are compatible with us. Like, we could probably breed. We could probably figure this out. So these people, because this is like way back when, they believe that these like Voldarian people are gods. And they're like, so can I fuck one of your ladies? And she's like, sure. And it looks like she's just wearing cut off shorts. Like, this is supposed to be like 87, BC, but for some reason she's got some cut off shorts on.
He's like, mind if we dance with your dates?
Yeah. Yeah. And she's like, yeah, cool. I guess I get to bang the god. But that pisses off the shaman.
Yeah, there's a guy that the shaman, I think he's the head of the tribe, right?
I thought he was a shaman, but maybe not.
He's furious.
He's very upset about this because this guy's getting to fuck the lady in the jean shorts. And so then he does something with chemicals. He puts something in this poor woman's head and really fucks up her pregnancy because I guess she got knocked up here. And then 9 months later, she gives birth to a small monkey.
She gives birth to one of Guy's future villains, known as Dementor.
Okay. Yeah, this woman got real fucked up because there's a lot of blood there.
Yeah. The monster kind of looks like one of those creatures from that movie, The Gate. That's what I thought about, like one of those little squatty boys.
He is a squatty boy.
He is a very
so that's what I mean.
boy.
Like, he's kind of like he's got the long arms like a gorilla, but he's also got a mullet.
Yeah, like a ginger mullet. It's just like
a ginger mullet.
Yeah.
Like, how does that work? Like, so like are the Voldarians like just like a bunch of like gingers that like it's not coming from her?
Right. I assume so. I think that's probably the thing. They're all redheads. And then this guy, like, the little squatty boy runs in and the shaman, he disappears and the shaman dies. So that's like the end of that.
There's one Voldarian here. This dude right here looks like Captain America. But he's Voldarian. He's just like, hi, how's it going? I'm here to check it out. I'm here to check out what's going on.
They're like, hey, we are compatible. But for some reason, unlike, like a Kryptonian who can just bang and have a kid and you're fine, we are going to take many, many millennia to create like the perfect being. So I don't know how many like great we're going back in Guy's past because finally Guy Gardner is born and he is the compatible alien human hybrid, basically. He is what the X-Files was going for.
He is the perfect boy. And he also got a whole helping of cigarette smoke from his dad.
I was going to say,
it was just like, let's see if this kid's tough.
Smoking in the hospital.
I just love any time we're seeing something where somebody's smoking in the hospital. It's just so stupid.
People used to do it.
You gotta think too, like, I mean, this is like, I mean, with the blood previously and the smoking in the hospital here, like the comic code here is just like, yeah, whatever. No one's gonna read this book.
Yeah. Yeah, we approved it, but who cares? You know, that guy's gonna smoke in a hospital, and the guy is part Paul Mall, as it turns out.
Yeah. I don't know if I feel like if they made this comic today, it'd probably be under the black label, and they still wouldn't let him smoke in the hospital. You can have all the blood you want, but they're not going to show some dude smoking a stogie in a hospital room.
You want to show the outline of a cock? Go ahead, but you want to smoke
you knock yourself out. You want a cock? Go ahead, and then we'll release another issue where it's all blacked out, but I'll still find that cock issue because I did.
You want to smoke in a hospital? Go smoke in the parking garage, and that'll be a book. It's just
guys in the parking garage smoking.
It's just jokers smoking in a parking garage.
Well, they do still sometimes show Jim Gordon smoking.
Oh yeah, that's right. Jim Gordon, huffing and puffing.
I don't know if he's ever actually. I don't know if it's in his mouth though. I don't know if he's just like holding it or throwing it, maybe.
But so Guy does not take to this very well.
Well, I mean, you can't blame him. I'd be kind of weirded out if somebody was like, "So, you're an alien, and when you went down to drink that weird water, it interacted with your body, and now you can make moist guns out of your arm."
Yeah, that's.
I can't blame him.
It's a big thing. I do got to say here, this kind of was alluding to this earlier. Guy does not take it earlier, so he decides to have what I call it's a full body heaves. He gets so upset, I imagine this is probably what also an orgasm might look like if he does this. Like, I'm assuming that this would be...
That's why you don't want him at the orgy.
No, you don't. You gotta keep him away.
Because he's probably killing people.
Yeah.
Or this might be his shunting.
Yeah, there is no cleanup. He's already just destroyed the building.
Yeah, it's gone.
All the snacks are gone. They're all incinerated.
The snacks.
You gotta have snacks. You gotta have energy.
Oh, yeah, like the weird fucking bowl of chips at an orgy? Is that what...
It's like Cliff Bars. It's like, you got to make sure you're
packaged.
When I was working at Sideshow, there was this couple that I met that had a show on Playboy. There was a swinger couple. I invited them to come on one of our shows. The guy was there, and he was chatting, and he was like, "Man, I hate when these parties," he doesn't say orgy, but he says, "these parties have asparagus, makes my piss smell."
Why would you ever serve asparagus at a party like that?
That's one of the last things that I look at. Like,
no, thank you.
There's certain foods you gotta be careful to not serve around bare genitals.
Yeah, but asparagus is that's definitely not. That's not one of them, because then they're sitting there, they're gonna get cold.
Yeah, because you have to eat it. You have to eat those right away.
Yeah, you have to eat them when they're warm.
What he had to have done is he walked in and been like, "All right, before I unleash my hog, I'm going to eat all this asparagus that's fresh out of the oven."
Gross.
Whatever intern that made that menu got fired.
100%.
But Guy doesn't take it well, and then he kind of goes back. So Cardone is like, "All right, well, you're not really ready for this, so." Yeah. We're going to jump ahead to later, and when Guy's watching this, he calls this little hologram a Stone Age Game Boy, and realizes that this is actually legit. And he's looking at a nice picture of himself holding out his gun. He's like, "Oh boy, I am now an alien."
Sweet.
So I guess I'll have to figure this out. And yeah, I'm on board. I'm a big fan of Guy Gardner, and I have this Guy Gardner Warrior, and I can't wait to... I've been trying to collect all the issues. I'm just going to read them all at once.
Mm-hmm.
Read all of it.
Did they put this in trade at all?
No, God, no.
Of course not.
You think they would do something like that?
They put all sorts of random shit in trade. I don't know.
This would be a very easy trade to make, but I guess, again, who's buying it other than you?
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
You're going to sell 2 copies.
It's a bad situation where you're like, you're a comic book store and you're like, "Oh no, man, we shouldn't order probably 10 copies of this Guy Gardner trade. I don't think we're going to sell them." But then here I come with, $200. Like, give me all of them. Put them in a box. I'll carry it out to my car. I'm going to give it away to kids on Halloween.
Oh, sweet.
Just drop it in their bag.
Another Guy Gardner trade? Come on.
You're like, oh man, I got 4 of these. I hate going up to old man Marek's house. He's always giving away Guy Gardner's trades instead of the good Snickers.
Old man Marek's giving away full Gardners.
Burn his house down.
Yeah. Oh, we get egged. Bags of shit everywhere.
They're toilet papering your trees with the Guy Gardner trade.
We would deserve it.
We would totally deserve it. But yes, Guy Gardner, Warrior, number 0, October 1994. It is a pivotal comic book moment for me. I know for Brian in some regards as well.
Yeah. Well, like, we as a family, we gravitated to the weird comic book guys. Like, we didn't collect, like, we weren't collecting Batman or Spider-Man or
right, Superman,
any of the big ones. We're like, oh, hey, give me that random dude that like nobody, like, even like our dad like did that too.
Sometimes it just hits for you. You know, some characters just hit.
Yeah. My thing is like same thing with wrestling and same thing with music. I'm just like, what's that guy doing over there? Why is nobody talking to him? I'm gonna go over there. Oh, okay. I'm glad I came over here. That's how I look at those things. You know, I'm like, all right, I want to get in on that. So, but this was a real treat. Getting to actually finally talk about this. This was a lot of fun. So, but yeah, that's going to do it for this episode of Worst Collection Ever. Thanks for listening, everybody. We're on our socials, worstcollectionever@gmail.com is our email. Brian, what are your socials?
Well, if people want to find me and see some of my pierogi creations, they can go on Instagram and follow Pierogi. It's just pierogi, but instead of ending with an I, it's UI. So it's still, I guess, kind of pierogi in a sense if you want to be like French Canadian.
Pierogi Lafleur.
So
there you go.
But yeah, go follow that.
Well, thank you, Brian, for being here. I appreciate it. And I'm sure we'll have to do this again at some point.
Yeah, you know, I'm always down to talk about weird comic book things.
Oh yeah, we'll find them. We'll get them loaded up for you. But once again, folks, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you again next time.
Bye.